Hi, welcome to our chair yoga class today. My name is Deb Wandler, and I have in the studio with me today in the Rogers studio with me today, three students from my class in town in Castlegar. We're going to begin by sitting in a mountain pose on our chairs, but I first wanted to say that for those of you that are new to the practice, and if this is your first time practicing with me, you need to know that this is your practice. And so whatever I am doing in this class, if it doesn't work for you, you change it or you don't do it. If it does anything to cause pain or discomfort, then you don't want to be doing that. You want to learn to listen to your body. That's what we're here for. And the class is mostly sitting and standing postures and movements, but it will include different practices that encourage nervous system resilience as well as optimizing brain function. So we're here for our physical and our mental and our emotional well-being as well. So let's begin in our seated chair with our feet on the floor. Now the feet are the foundation of this seated mountain pose. So if we press our feet into the floor, you'll notice that it will help to support you to sit up nice and long and tall. You want to stack your ears over your shoulders and your shoulders over your hips. You don't want to draw your shoulders back really tight. You want to relax them down. So the pressing of the feet in the floor supports this upright posture. And then we're imagining that there's a string on the crown of our head and it's drawing us up nice and tall and long. So you can close your eyes if you're comfortable and just see how that posture, that alignment of posture feels in your body. Just notice how it feels to be sitting in this upright place. Because most of the time we're forward and bending forward in our day-to-day activities, which is mostly sitting for quite a few of us. Okay, so from here, we're going to close our eyes or cast your gaze softly down towards the floor if that feels better for you. And just start by noticing your breath. So the first, one of the keys to getting into the body and to shifting how you're feeling is to pay attention to your breath. So here we're just going to tune into the breath and just notice, I can feel a little bit of anxiety, this my first recording, and I'm a bit tense, so my breath isn't going all the way down into my belly that I'd like it to. I kind of feel stuck here. So just notice what's happening with your breath. A lot of the times our breath is shallow, and that's what causes some challenges with our thinking and with our movement. So we're just noticing to begin with. And you can actually, for a point of focus, you can go to the nose, to the nostril, and feel the cool air as you inhale through the nose, and then the warmer air as you exhale back out. So inhaling and feeling the cool air, and exhaling and feel that warm air as it comes back out through the nose. And we're just going to do this for a few more breaths. And what I'm hoping you'll notice is that the more you focus, or the longer you focus on your breathing, the breath starts to slow down. And it's that slowing down of the breath that supports us to move from that busy fight or flight, from the nervous system into that settling, that moving into the rest and restore of the parasympathetic. So we're moving out of the sympathetic nervous system and into the parasympathetic nervous system. And when we do this, we also start to slow the breathing down and lengthen it out. So our inhalation might be longer and slower, and our exhalation longer and slower. And now we can take this breathing practice right into a more specific practice by measuring the number of breaths we take in. So counting in to the count of 4. So we're inhaling to the count of 4. And then we're exhaling out just a little bit longer to the count of 6. And this is a specific practice to take us into what's called the relaxation response. So this is that part about nervous system resilience that I talked about earlier. When we can move from fight or flight into this relaxation response, we're already starting to heal and calm the body. So let's do 3 more breaths like that. That inhaling to the count of 4 and exhaling back out to the count of 6. Now, you might find that inhaling in and out through your nose might be a bit challenging. Maybe you've got stuffed sinuses, or there's something going on with your ability to breathe in and out through your nose. If that's the case, then by all means, breathe in and out through your mouth, which you're probably already doing. But also, you can shift even from breathing in through your nose and to breathing out through your mouth. And that's perfectly okay as well. And once you come to the end of that last exhalation, just bring your attention back to your normal rhythm of breath, that natural rhythm. And take a moment here to notice if there's any shifts or changes. Maybe your breathing feels more at ease. It's easier to breathe in and out. You might feel a sense of calm. That's awesome. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and come back into the space. And we're going to do something called orienting. And it's just a matter of just looking around the space, looking to the side and looking straight ahead, and then around to the other side. And then you can look around, noticing the colors and the shapes and the light in the room. We're not in a room with windows today, so we're not seeing that light come in the windows, but we've got lights around us, so just noticing that. And then, of course, noticing that you're in the space with others, so we've got other people in the space with us. Awesome. Okay. Wonderful. Okay, I'm just going to put my little book down here so I can keep track of what I want to do with you today. But we're going to start with moving mountain. And so moving mountain is just bringing our arms down to the side and turning the palms up as you inhale and bring the arms overhead. Now, if you don't have any shoulder problems, coming up like this isn't an issue. Then we're going to exhale and come all the way down. But if you do have problems with your shoulders, there's something else that we can do here. We can just inhale the arms up to shoulder height and then exhale them back down. So you decide on which one works for you and go with that one. And let's do 4 more of these, reaching and looking up as we bring our hands up to the top, and then turning the palms down as we come down and dropping the chin down. Wonderful. So inhaling and coming up, reaching, and then exhaling, and the palms come down and the chin comes down. Okay, let's do 2 more. Inhaling, coming up, reaching for the sky, looking up, and then exhaling, palms come all the way down. We tuck the chin. And last one, inhaling, coming up, reaching for the sky, and then exhaling, coming all the way down. Wonderful. Okay, just relaxing with your hands on your legs for a moment. Close your eyes and just check into your body. Notice how the shoulders feel, how the arms. Notice how the rest of the body feels from just that little bit of movement. And this is called something called interoceptive awareness. And interoceptive awareness allows us to check in and start to grow a relationship with the body from the inside out, just noticing what's going on for us. And that pause is as important as the pose, and so we'll be doing that pause in between all our poses. Wonderful. Okay, so let's start with some joint rotation. And so we're going to start with our left foot, and we're just going to turn that left foot in circles. Creaks and cracks, or is that the chair? First in one direction, and then in the other direction. Whatever the other direction is. Your head might want to turn with it. Okay, couple more. And then let's rest that foot down. Pause for a moment, just notice. And then bring the other foot up. We're going to do the other one. Same thing, turning in one direction first. And then going in the other direction. Yeah. Okay, so joint rotations are really important, and let's just bring that foot down to rest for increasing blood flow into the joints and bringing and increasing synovial fluid. And synovial fluid is really important to support us with achy joints. So when we have more blood flow, more synovial fluid in the joints, we're going to have less achy joints. Okay. Okay, so let's see if we can get the knees involved. We've got bars behind us, so we got to. And these chairs we're sitting in. So just swinging the knee, the leg back and forth, and just starting to bring some movement into that knee joint. And bringing some blood flow into the knee and some synovial fluid as well. Okay, a couple more. And then let's just rest that foot down on the floor. Okay, wow, I can feel that all the way up my leg now. So we're bringing some blood flow in all the way up to the leg, top of the leg. And the other leg. It's just an easy swinging motion, just to get some movement into the knees. Inviting movement. Inviting more blood flow to the area, and once again, synovial fluid. Okay. All right, let's just relax that foot down. Pause and notice. So let's close our eyes for a moment and just notice the sensation. So we've done the ankles, we've moved into the knees. I can feel warmth all the way up my front of my legs and my muscles here. Okay. Wonderful. Okay, now the hips come into play. So we're going to scoot a little bit forward on our chairs. If you have a chair, a kitchen chair that has a straight back, or a chair similar to the ones that we're using in the studio, they give you the most stability. If you don't, and you're sitting on a couch, if it's a firmer couch, then that will work too. So using whatever you have in your space to set yourself up to do this. Okay, so we're going to start with bringing the knee up and circling the knee. And that circling of the knee gets us into the hip joint. And we're going to start by going in one direction first. And then we're going to go in the other direction. You can really feel that ball and socket joint there, getting that movement into the hip joint. Okay, all right, let's bring that to rest and notice the sensations in that hip. I can really feel that in my hip this morning. Pause for a moment, take a breath in and out. And then let's do the other leg. So circling first in one direction. I got a creaky chair. Okay, and then in the other direction. Nice work. Okay, couple more. And then let's bring that foot down to the floor. Pause. Now we're going to close our eyes and just kind of sit with the movement again. Just kind of noticing now the energy having moved up the leg all the way into the hips. So really getting into the body. All right, wonderful. Okay, so let's bring our hands into the movement now. We'll do both our hands together. Let's do some circling. You'll notice I have a closed fist here. You can do a closed fist, lightly closed fist, circling first in one direction. And then you can also shift and change it to an open-handed circling, and just notice the difference between the two. Notice how it feels in the body. Okay, let's go in the other direction. Just giving your body the chance to try both ways of doing it so that you can notice what happens in the hands and where you're feeling it in the wrists and the arms. Okay, wonderful. All right, so let's take these hands now and bring them up to our shoulders. And we're getting our elbows into it by bending our elbows a bit. But we're going to get into the shoulders. We're just going to start to do circles with the elbows. Getting the movement now into the shoulders. We're going back mostly. We'll do a couple of forward ones too, but we want to encourage our shoulders to, and our chest to open and our shoulders to go back a bit because we're rounding so often during the day. Okay, now you can do really big circles or you can do smaller circles. And try both and just notice the difference. Like notice where you feel the smaller circles compared to where you feel the bigger circles. Okay, and then before we finish, let's bring those shoulders forward for a couple of rounds, just bringing them into the movement here. Okay, beautiful. And then let's just rest our hands down. Pause for a moment, notice the sensations in the shoulders, the arms, the hands. You might even have felt that exercise right all the way up into your neck as well. Okay, so before we get up to standing, we're just going to bring our necks, our heads into this a little bit. And I'm going to start with just a circling, but only a forward circling back and forth. So we're going to go drop our chin to the left, to the center, and to the right, and then back up again. And then the left, the center, the right, and back up. So let's do one more in this direction. Left, center, right, and back up. Pause here, and then go back in the other direction. So to the right and to the center, back and up. Right, center, to the left and up. Last one. Right, center, left and up. Wonderful. Okay, just pausing here for a moment, noticing the sensations in the neck. Nice work. Okay, fantastic. All right, we're going to come up to standing. And when we come up to standing, we're going to do some balancing exercises, but we're also going to work with our feet on balls today. And I've got a ball for everyone here, but I wanted to show those who aren't with me in the room the different kinds of balls that you can use for this exercise. So I have this kind of ratty looking tennis ball, and it's you know, when I really press into it, it's going to squish down, but it works. It'll be good for putting pressure on the bottom of your feet. This pink one here is called a pinky ball, and it's a firmer ball. It has a bit of give. It's softer, but it's not like a lacrosse ball, how hard a lacrosse ball is. There's a bit of softness to it, but it's not as soft as a tennis ball. And then this one, I'm pretty sure this ball is from a fitness center, but I don't remember where I got it from. It's got a little bit of give in it. And it's a little bit bigger than the other ones. So what you're looking for this exercise is not necessarily a certain ball, but a ball that has a bit of softness but not too much, and about this size. Okay, so I'm going to give you each one to use, and you have a choice. You can use that one or the tennis ball. Okay, perfect. All right, so First of all, before we come, I'm going to go back down to my chair, and then I'm going to come back up because I want to talk about, and you can put your balls down for now because we're going to use them in a little bit. So, how do we get up out of the chair? We want to press our feet into the floor, and you can do two things. You can use your hands to press into your legs to come up, or you can bring your hands like out in front. You can cross your arms. You bring your hands out in front. You can bring your hands up like this and use them as a momentum to bring yourself up. Okay, so let's do that. Let's come up onto our feet in whatever way feels right for you. Perfect. Can you do it, Eleanor? It's pretty low. You're pretty low. There you go. Okay. All right, nice work. Okay, so I'm just going to come back here a bit just so I have more room. So here we are, standing up, and we're going to start with our first pose, which is standing mountain. So we're going to do the same thing that we did sitting. We're going to do a postural alignment, but it's a little bit different standing. So we want to have our feet hip-width apart, and we want to feel as if there's 3 points of contact at the bottom of the feet, and it forms kind of like a tripod on the bottom of your feet. And so you want to press into the point that's at the base of the big toe, and then there's one at the base of the little toe, which is down a little bit, and then there's the center of the heel. So finding those points at the base of your feet and just noticing what happens when you press down into those. What do you feel? A little bit more stable and stronger and balanced. Notice that? Okay, so from here we're going to relax our knees a bit, and then we're going to do that stacking again with the ears over the shoulders, shoulders over the hips, and then hips over the ankles. So the ankles are brought into our practice now. Shoulders are relaxed and down. Chin is level with the floor, and there's that string on the crown of the head again, drawing us up nice and long and tall. So you'll notice that, excuse me, you'll notice that if you press down into the floor and you're relaxed and you're stacked and you lift up, you're almost increasing spaces in between the vertebrae. So we're reaching up through the crown of the head to increase and find those spaces, lengthen our spines that get compacted as we get older. Beautiful. Close your eyes if you're comfortable, or if you haven't already, or look down towards the floor. And just notice how this mountain pose feels with those 3 points of contact and the body in balance, in a postural balance. Notice the strength, the sense of strength and stability that comes from this pose. And you're thinking of being a mountain. It's the mountain, right? It's that strength and stability. Beautiful. Now what we're going to add is just the practice of, we're going to bring our arms up. Let's just do our arms first. So we're just going to bring our arms up as we inhale, like we did when we were sitting. And then exhale, bringing them back down. Okay. We're going to add one more thing after this. Let's come up one more time. And then bring them back down. Okay. Now, this time we're going to come up on the toes. So if you're with your chair, if you need to, your chair's right there. You can hang on to the chair. And then exhale back down. Okay, so inhaling up onto the toes. And exhaling back down. Okay, now we're going to add something a little bit different. We're going to bring the shoulders up to the arms up to shoulder height, up onto our toes, whoops, and then one arm's going to come up, and then it's going to come back down, and both arms and heels are going to come down to the floor. So now we're bringing some work in for the brain. Okay, we're doing opposite arms each time, one arm at a time, so we have to think about it. Think about what we're doing a little bit more. Okay, let's do one more on each side. And down, and the other side, and then down, and then let's do one more with both, just to bring it back together, and then down. Beautiful. Okay, let's shake everything out. That's a lot of work. Okay, so partly what we're doing with that particular pose is we're working on balance for sure, but we're also working on strengthening the foot, particularly strengthening these muscles in the front of the base of the toes when we're doing that. And we're stretching the bottom of the feet as well, which is helping to create a wider foundation for us to move about on our feet. Okay, so let's see. I just want to check my book here. All right, let's just rock from one foot to the other. So bringing your feet a little bit wider than hip width apart, and then just shifting your weight from one foot over to the other. So already that is a bit of a balancing practice, right? We're just shifting our weight, just feeling what it feels like to stand on one foot, just inviting the body to notice the shift of bringing our weight from one foot to another. Beautiful. Okay, now let's bring the feet a little bit wider than hip width apart, and we're going to do some hip circles. So we're going to get into those hips a little bit more. Open the hips up a little bit more. Nice big circles or small circles. You can do small circles here too. They don't have to be really big circles. And then we can stop and go in the other direction. And again, you can do big circles and bring the whole body with you. Or you can do smaller circles. Okay. And then from here, we're going to pause for a moment, and then we're going to do a figure eight with the hips. So it's like drawing that sideways figure eight. Nice. And then we're going to turn and go in the other direction. That's another one that's good for the brain. How do we optimize brain function? We use our brains a bit more. Okay. And then come to a stand, a stop, and let's just bring our feet back together a little bit and just pause here for a moment and just check in. Notice how you're feeling, how the hips are feeling, and the legs, the arms, and the feet. Wonderful. Okay, so if you have found a ball that you can use, if you have one close by, I'm going to try this little tennis ball here, see what it's like. We're going to use these balls to open up the bottom of our feet. So we're just going to start by bringing the ball under our foot and just rolling the ball back and forth. Now we've got the inner arch at the inside edge of our foot, and then we've got a line that runs down the center of our foot, and then we've got the outer edge, which gets a little bit harder to get to, but just notice those three places. And then just start rolling the ball around on the bottom of your foot, just like you're massaging the bottom of your foot. And what you might notice is some tender spots. Yeah? And if they're there, spend a little bit of time on them. Yeah? Spend a little bit of time on them. Those are nerve endings, actually meridian points come to the base of the foot. Meridian points, if you know or study Chinese medicine. And there's also something called reflexology that works on those points that are connected to different organs and different parts of the body on the bottom of the foot. So we're working some of those tightness that we're feeling might have something to do with blocked energy in those areas. So we're just loosening up the fascia, or the connective tissue in the bottom of our feet, and supporting all those endpoints of the meridians that run through the body. Okay, so now we're going to bring the ball to the front of the foot. I'm bringing my heel down to the floor, and I'm just taking my toes and I'm wrapping my toes around the ball. And I'm just squeezing it. You can see that I'm articulating all my toes, so I'm bringing some strength to the toes. And we need those toes to be strong for walking safely and with more stability. And make sure you're breathing when you're doing this. Don't hold your breath. Nice work. Okay, then release and just roll the ball again on the bottom of your foot. Now you might notice a little bit of a difference from when you first started. That tension and release starts to loosen up all areas of the muscles and the fascia a bit. Okay, now we're bringing the heel back down to the floor, and this time the ball is under the arch at the top of the foot. And I'm just pressing down into that ball and in the arch of my foot and onto the ball. And you can see, or you might not be able to, but if you look down at your own foot, you can see all these bones at the base of the toes articulating. So we're encouraging them to pop out and be active. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Beautiful, and then release. Oof, that feels good. And then we're going to, and actually just notice again if how those tender spots are, if they're a little bit less noticeable. I'm just going to fold up my leg a bit so you can see the last one of the moves that we're going to do here is we're going to bring the ball just in front of the heel of the foot. And we're going to step up onto the ball as if you're stepping into a high heel. And so now we're getting some opening to all those bones that come together part way up the foot, getting some spreading happening at the top. And we're working on the fascia still in the bottom of the foot, the connective tissue. Let's take 2 more breaths. I notice that the tennis ball squishes a bit, so I don't think you get that squish with the pink ball, do you? It's kind of hold. Do you get a little bit too? Okay. This one feels like it collapses a little bit more, but it's still working. Okay, then step off and then just roll the ball one more time on the bottom of your foot and just notice how it feels. Okay, now we can just bring that ball over to the side and just step with both feet down on the floor, and holy, see how it feels. You notice the difference? Yeah. So the foot feels wider and more stable on the ground. Looks a little bit different too. It looks wider. Okay, let's go with the other one. So we're starting off initially just rolling the ball back and forth. There's that arch, that inner arch. It's nice to pay attention to. And then that line down the center of the foot. And then the outside edge of the foot. Okay, and then we're pressing down, giving a bit of a massage to the bottom of the foot. We want to notice any tender spots. And if you find one, just spend a little bit of time there, just working out what might be going on. Okay. Whew, feels good. And then we're going to, once again, bring the heel down to the floor and just wrap the toes around the ball and just squeeze the ball with your toes. Beautiful. And breathe. Let's take 3 breaths here. Okay. And then release. Just roll the ball out again for a little bit. Ooh. Notice the difference? Or not? Still quite tender. And then we're going to bring the ball into that arch at the top of the foot and press down. And we're articulating the bones at the base of the toes. So just noticing how that feels. Take 2 more breaths here. Okay, beautiful. Roll it out some more. Notice again if there's any less tension in the bottom of the foot, if those tight spots have dissipated a bit. We're working on that, stretching the tight connective tissue. What happens as we get older, especially, I think everything starts to dry up in the body, the mucous membranes, all kinds of things start to dry, become drier in the body. And the fascia tends to dry out a bit and get tighter. That's why it's important to stay hydrated too at any time, but certainly while we're aging. Okay, so now we're gonna do that thing again where we bring the ball in front of the heel and we step up onto the ball as if we're stepping into a high heel. And that's going to invite some stretching and movement in the front of the top of the foot and the front of the foot. Let's do 2 more breaths. Okay, beautiful, and then roll it out. Yeah. Right on. Okay, then bring the ball to the side, get it out of your way, and bring both feet down onto the floor. And just pause for a moment and notice. Close your eyes if you like, if you feel like you can stand without holding on to something, or hold on to something close to you. And just notice. Notice the sense of the wideness of the foot, the openness of the foot, a little bit more stability in the foot. And then we're going to do a little bit of a walk about opening your eyes. Don't walk with your eyes closed. And just notice how you feel. Notice how that feels in your body. Nice work. Okay, this is a good time to have a drink of water. If you have water with you, it'd be a good time to take a drink of water. I'm just noticing the little critter that's behind the plants watching us. A little orangutan or something. It's cute. We forgot. Okay. All right. What else was I going to do standing? Okay, we're going to move into Warrior One. Okay, so warrior poses, for any of you that might have done yoga in the past, warrior poses are the strength building poses. They help us feel strong and strengthen the muscles in our body. So this one is simply stepping one foot in front of the other. And we still want to maintain a hip width apart distance in our feet. So we're not trying to balance with our feet in front of each other. Okay? One foot's in front of the other. I got my left foot forward, so whichever you want to put forward. Now with Warrior One, we're going to inhale, and as we inhale, the front knee is going to bend as the right arm comes up. So left leg, right arm. Okay, and then exhaling, the arm comes down and the leg lengthens. Okay, inhaling up, knee bends, reaching, and exhaling down. Now you might feel, like I just did, in the front of your leg as you inhale up, the psoas muscle in here is getting a bit of a stretch too, especially when we lift our arm up. We're bringing some stretching into there and down. Okay, this time we're going to bring the arm up as we inhale up, and then we're going to bring the other arm up to meet it. So both arms are up. We're going to relax the shoulders down. Beautiful. And we're going to take 3 breaths here. So this is where we're building strength. And the heel in that back foot is pressed down into the floor to keep you stable. And your body is moving up instead of forward. So that's the other thing that keeps us stable in this posture. And 3 breaths. So breathing all the way down into the belly if you can. And really feel the heat and the strength building in the body. And then one more time, inhaling, reaching the arms up, and exhaling, the arms come down as the front leg lengthens. Beautiful. And then we step that foot back. Okay, and we give the legs a shake. Okay, other side, and then we'll be ready to move down into the chair. So right leg forward this time, right foot forward. And you keep your, make your legs as comfortable, as wide as you feel comfortable. It doesn't have to be as wide as mine, but whatever feels comfortable in your body. Okay, now we're right leg, left arm. So the knee bends as the arm comes up, and we exhale down. So we're bringing our breath into it too. So we're inhaling, the arm comes up, and exhaling down, and inhaling up. Whoa, I can feel myself press that heel of the back foot into the floor. I remind myself. Okay, now this time when the arm comes up, we're going to leave it there, and then we're going to bring the other arm up to meet it. Relax the shoulders down. Press the heel of the back foot into the floor, and let's take 3 breaths here. When we're doing poses like this, we want to keep our eyes open because we need to have that balance and that strength and be able to see our environment around us. Okay, one more breath in, reaching up nice and long and tall, and then exhaling, the arms come down and the leg lengthens. Beautiful. And let's bring the legs together and give everything a bit of a shake. Okay, so you can really feel the heat and the warmth in the body after that very powerful pose. Let's come one more time back into mountain pose. So our feet are hip width apart. Let's find that alignment in our, that stacking of the ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips, hips over ankles, releasing the knees a bit, just relaxing them. Arms are relaxed down. And imagining one more time that string on the crown of the head, reaching you up nice and long and tall. Let's take a couple of breaths here, feeling those 3 points of contact at the base of the feet. Beautiful. Wonderful. Okay. All right. Let's come back down to sitting, and we're going to move into that final part of our practice. One thing I wanted to do before we move into our relaxation pose is to do a practice of humming. It's called the bee breath. And this time, and we've done it in the class before, but this particular practice is just 3 breaths in and out. We're just going to do 3 in and out. And the hands come up to the throat. So you can feel we're not going to choke ourselves, we're just going to rest our hands here. So you can just feel the vibration when you exhale out. So we're inhaling in, and then we're humming. Nice. Inhaling again. And one more time. And then just bring your hands down to your legs. Pause for a moment and notice the vibration. Notice the energy, movement, and increase in your throat and in your head. Now this is a vagal. It's called the vagus. The vagus nerve runs from the ears, from around the ears, down the front of the neck, and then down the side of the body to the gut. And so it comes together in the throat. And so this is a vagal toning. It's called vagal toning when we hum and we bring our breath to the throat, bring that vibration to the throat. So you might have felt it as a vibration and notice like a buzzing and an opening in the head when you do it. Wonderful. Okay, so let's see. We've got about, I would think, about 10 minutes left, and 15. Okay, great. So we're going to do a body scan. And so for this part of our practice, we're just going to release ourselves back into our chair. We're going to relax. We don't have to hold ourselves upright anymore. So just letting your body settle. We don't have to worry about the feet pressing into the floor. They're just resting on the floor. Settle back into your chair. And the idea of this body scan is to take our attention to each part of the body. It's a back and forth movement across the body and up the body, from the feet all the way up to the crown of the head. And that attention to particular parts of the body moves us out of our head and into that state of relaxation. So we're going to start by bringing your attention to your right foot. So you're going to notice the sole of the right foot and the top of the foot and the big toe, the second toe, the third toe, the fourth toe, and the fifth toe. That whole right foot all the way up to the ankle. The whole right foot and ankle. And then crossing over to the left foot, noticing the left foot, the bottom of the left foot and the top of the left foot. Noticing the big toe, the second toe, the third toe, the fourth toe, and the fifth toe. So the whole foot and all 5 toes all the way to the ankle. The whole foot and the ankle of that left foot. Coming back over to the right, moving up the lower leg, the shin and the calf, to the knee, front and back of the knee. Noticing the leg from the knee, the thigh, all the way up to the hip joint. That whole right leg, right from the ankle, all the way up to the hip, the whole right leg. And coming across to the left leg again, and noticing the lower leg, the shin and the calf muscle. Noticing the knee, both the front and the back of the knee. The upper leg all the way to the hip. So that whole left leg, right from the ankle all the way up to the hip. Feet included, of course. And then noticing the sit bones, those bones at the base of the pelvis, the back of the pelvis, the right sit bone and the left sit bone. And notice the front of the pelvis and the lower back, the sacrum area of the spine. Moving up the spine all the way to the thoracic, the mid section of the spine between the shoulders, all the way up to the cervical spine at the base of the skull. So the whole spine, right from the sacrum, the tailbone and sacrum, all the way up to the base of the skull. And coming into the front of the body again, noticing the belly, the lower belly, the upper abdomen where the solar plexus is, the heart center, and the collarbones. The whole right side of the body from the hip bone all the way up to the armpit, and the whole left side of the body from the hip all the way up to the armpit on the left. Let's bring our attention to our right shoulder, our right upper arm, elbow, lower arm, and wrist. Noticing the right hand, the palm of the hand and the top of the hand, the thumb, the index finger, the middle finger, the ring finger, and the pinky finger. And that whole right arm, right from the shoulder all the way down to the fingers. And coming across to the left shoulder, the left upper arm, the elbow, the lower arm, the wrist, noticing the hand, the palm of the hand and the back of the hand, the thumb, the index finger, the middle finger, the ring finger, and the pinky finger. The whole left hand and arm off all the way up to the shoulder. And bringing your attention to those trapezius muscles that hold the head, connect the head to the shoulder. Just seeing if you could take a breath in and relax them just a little bit more. And noticing the jaw, the right side of the jaw and the left side, and just maybe a little bit of movement of the mouth to just bring your attention to the jaw. And relaxing the muscles in the face, the muscles of the right eye, and the muscles of the left eye. Softening that space in between the eyebrows, that third eye space, bringing some softness there, and to the whole forehead. Just see if you can soften the skin on the forehead. And noticing your right ear and your left ear. And the right hemisphere of your brain and the left hemisphere of your brain. Noticing the back of your head and finally the crown of your head. Noticing the whole body, right from the feet all the way up to the crown of the head, the whole body. I'm just going to sit here and for probably 2 minutes or so. And when we're done, I'll ring the chimes. But in the meantime, just allow yourself to completely relax. can begin to awaken the body by bringing your attention to your breathing, wiggling your fingers and your toes. And then stretching in whatever way would feel right for you. Opening your eyes when you're ready, or keeping your eyes closed. An invitation to bring your hands to your heart. Pause here for a moment, take a breath in and out, and really appreciate yourselves for coming to this practice today, for coming into this community of practice today. And we can end by bringing our hands together, if you like, and taking a bow to each other in this space today. And thank you all for coming. Namaste. And that is the light in me sees the light in each of you. And please, if you enjoyed the class, please share with a friend or friends and press the like button at the bottom of the video. And I hope to see you next time. Thanks for coming. Thank you.